So the rent is due again. And thank God for that, because we have another MrBeast update. And when I tell you that this is a big update, I mean that this is a big update. As MrBeast himself has responded to pretty much every single allegation that has come out in the last few months. And he did a humongous interview with Umperville himself on his YouTube channel. It came out about a day ago, maybe 2 days ago by the time that you are probably watching this video. And I highly recommend you go watch that video first. Yes, it is 2 hours long, but I don't want this video to go on for too long, as I want to just talk about the topics that MrBeast talked about briefly. I'll go over them. I'm not going to show any clips, as like I said, it's best if you go and watch that. Yes, I know it's long, but just shove it on in the background while you're playing some video games so you just can get into your mind about what's going on. But I'm going to go over the topics that MrBeast and Umperville went over in his video, and he pretty much has denied every single bad allegation that has come out about him. So here we go. The first thing they talked about was the guy Delaware, of supposedly the registered sex offender that MrBeast hired in his team all those years ago when he was a young teenager. Well, not really a young teenager, but an older teenager, but still a teenager nonetheless, which MrBeast didn't know at the time was actually a registered sex offender, and then he managed to actually turn out to be one. He talked about the investigation bias when MrBeast ran an internal investigation on his own company using a third-party investigation, which a lot of people said that there's probably investigation bias due to, you know, that being an internal investigation. MrBeast stated that no, it wasn't biased in any way possible, as we did use a third-party company, and they apparently are a pretty reputable company themselves, so they have no reason to lie about their investigation, which they actually did find some issues within the MrBeast company, as they found some issues in the HR department of MrBeast, as well as finding some harassment issues, which is linked to that HR problems, to which they have actually taken steps towards getting rid of those people and bringing in new people to replace them as well. He also mentioned about the no means no scenario that was involved in MrBeast, that Dogpack mentioned in his first video as well, saying that in terms of no means no, in the context that they talked about that in, it was actually when it came to reaching out to companies to try and work with MrBeast, as the things that they are doing and the things that they do at MrBeast's company as well in the YouTube channels, they're pretty extravagant, and a lot of companies at first will go like, oh no, we don't really think that we can work with you, and then it's always good to see why they won't work with you. So really, it's not really more of like an unethical no means no. I kind of get it when you explain it. It's definitely not really like a much of a bad thing. It's not in terms of, you know, a harassment type of no means no. It's more or less just try to get these companies to see why they wouldn't work with you, see if we can work around them to get to work with us as well. He mentioned about CGI being used in his videos, saying that they don't really use CGI too much, and the times that they have, he did mention that they have used CGI in the past in some of their videos, and yes, they have gotten backlash for that, to which they have actually addressed he addressed in this video, in the interview, and has actually addressed it with his team and with some of his editors as well, to try and outline of when they do use CGI in their videos, to make it obvious to the viewer themselves, and to show that they're actually using CGI or AI, whatever it may be, so they're not trying to fool the viewers in any way possible. The 100 boys versus 100 girls scenario, I mean, that's already been debunked by Sogosiro himself, and also it's been talked about by many people. The reason why that they had some of the people who worked for MrBeast participate in 100 boys versus 100 girls was because of COVID. They had so many people pull out, and he didn't want to get rid of the whole entire thing. So instead of that, you know, they just did get some people from the MrBeast company, including MrBeast's girlfriend herself, which she has actually talked about in the past, so it wasn't really a hidden thing. The illegal lotteries, MrBeast denies all of this, saying that there was no illegal lotteries done, and if there was, it wasn't to any of his knowledge. Cryptocurrency is currently a thing that's an ongoing investigation. CoffeeZilla is actually looking into this at the moment that we are speaking, and he's going to be making a further video talking about the whole entire crypto scenario that's involved with MrBeast. But MrBeast did deny, saying that he was directly involved with a lot of these crypto scams, and saying that, you know, when he did promote a coin, even though he did have a lot of stocks in it, he was more promoting it in a way of like, this is good, but he wasn't like, you know, trying to do a pump and dump scenario. And also the fact that he wasn't really in charge of his own crypto wallet. It was other people that were putting the money in and out of his like wallet for him. So it was more people that were working for him. They're going to a massive talk about the charity section of MrBeast, for the fact that, you know, there is a lot of companies now, there's a lot of charities that don't actually want to work with MrBeast because of the Dogpack videos. That's right, a lot of companies now, because of the things that Dogpack has come out and said, and other people have said when it comes to MrBeast's, you know, charitable work, saying that a lot of it's fake and a lot of it's unethical and a lot of it's, you know, not really genuine as well, which MrBeast is quite sad about, because he does take charitable work extremely seriously. seriously, and he does like to do philanthropy. As a matter of fact, he does mention that he does do some stuff off camera as well. When it comes to Feastables, there's a whole load of people saying that he was actually using slave labor when it came to making his Feastables, which he debunked all of that, saying that he currently works with a company that is actually completely slave labor free. The moldy lunchly, he says that yes, there was some moldy lunchlies, but when it leaves the factory themselves, there is no mold within that. It's whenever lunchly is then shipped out of the factory, they have no control of what happens to that lunchly after that. So if it's sold moldy, it's most likely the companies that sold it, such as like a Walmart, Target, or whatever it may be. It's more their fault for the fact that the lunchly is moldy, not necessarily the lunchly factories themselves, as apparently they never go out moldy. He talked about Jake Weddle and the whole entire war crime situation, saying that Jake Weddle was, yes, he did have a terrible experience with that, but he was given outs and he was given other things to, like, you know, make it better for him. And yes, he still does kind of, I mean, you could kind of see it in the interview that MrBeast was kind of just like, hey, yeah, this didn't really turn out the best way, but at the same time, we did the exact same things with other people and they found it completely fine. He also talked about Beast Games as well, where apparently Beast Games has been like had a lawsuit against him, and apparently a lot of things were going wrong, which MrBeast denies the major things, like the massive lawsuits and all the major things that was going wrong in terms of MrBeast Games. He does say that there was a lot of small things that were going wrong with the Beast Games, such as like some woman wasn't able to get like sanitary products, apparently because she was allergic to like the tampons and the pads that that Beast Games was providing. She didn't have, like, there was no allergy-free ones, which there was a lot of small things like that that were going wrong in Beast Games, but no major things. And then finally, MrBeast talks about the Shad Main poster, to which he says that just one day, like, Ava Chris Tyson just brought it in and hung it on a wall, and MrBeast even talks about it, saying that he found it like completely weird and he found it a bit of an awkward poster, but he just saw it as a meme, as he didn't really know like who it was from or what exactly it was. And the big thing as well, and this is in the middle of the video, but I want to mention it at the end here because I feel like that this is the big part of this whole entire video. To me, this is like really going to settle of like who's talking crap and who's not. And that is the fact that supposedly MrBeast is most likely, because they haven't finalized the entire writings and the whole entire lawsuit, as getting something together like this takes a very long time, but MrBeast is supposedly most likely going to be suing Dogpack.
Are you going to sue Dogpack?
Well, you know, there's tons of examples of him intentionally manipulating things to not be true and posting it online. Tons and tons and tons of that. Soggy has basically an hour and 27-minute video, and an hour of it is just flat out proving manipulation and lies, and caused a lot of harm to my businesses. I mean, I've literally had people pull out millions of dollars and then tell me it was directly because of his video. And don't worry, I instantly was like, can you send that in writing? So, you know, if I win a case or anything, I can directly point damages. No reason why. And so, I mean, it's just unfortunate. Like, I don't want to be put in this situation, but probably gonna have to. I mean, it's just, I mean, what do you do if someone's just spreading misinformation about you and, you know, just causing harm to your business and like getting it to the point where you might have to potentially fire people because it's costing you so much revenue? It's like, it's not fair to the people in my companies. You know what I mean? It's just sad, you know. It's not a thing I take joy in, but
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, so yes.
They're not done drafting it up, but once they're done, more than likely, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's
I mean, every law firm I've talked to, they're like, this would be the easiest win they've ever seen in their life. I mean, it's like crazy. I had one tell me like you could chop up all the evidence into like sue 3 separate times and win all 3 cases because you'd have enough for each. Like one person I was talking to, he's won like 67 out of his last 70 cases, and he's like, this would be literally the easiest case I've ever done. Like it's because there's just so much blatant, you know, misinformation and lies spread. Like, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, just go watch Soggy's video. Go look at his Twitter where he's redacted multiple ones of it. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
And to me, that is the biggest outtake of this whole entire interview, because every single thing, well, majority of things that I have talked about already in the past like few minutes about everything that MrBeast is denying. Majority of it has been brought up by Dogpack. All these investigation biases, these illegal lotteries, this not being charitable, the CGI, the 100 boys versus 100 girls. Majority, even the Shadmain stuff was kind of started by Dogpack himself. One thing that they did kind of like brush over a little bit was Ava Chris Tyson themselves about like their behavior and like, you know, how much of a weirdo they are. But I mean, MrBeast probably can't deny it, and we still all agree on that. I mean, Umpaville probably wouldn't have asked him that question. MrBeast would have said, we don't want to talk about it because it's definitely not a good thing. We all know that Ava Chris Tyson's a complete degen and a weirdo. We all know that. That's one thing that didn't need to be asked. That's only the thing that they didn't talk about. But to be honest, we know that that's true. We know that Ava Chris Tyson is a weirdo. But everything else, majority of the things that have been brought up against MrBeast was all because of Dogpack. And MrBeast is going to be most likely suing this guy. And to me, this lawsuit itself will determine who's in the right and who's in the wrong. So when it comes to who you believe your side is on, because I made a video just a couple days ago about Soggy Cereal, where Soggy Cereal made that hour-and-a-half long video of disproving every single thing that Dogpack brought up besides two things, which is that Ava Chris Tyson's a weirdo and the first illegal lottery. And he also did criticize MrBeast at the end of the video as well. And I even saw people in my comment section of that saying that I'm a Mr. Meat Rider and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, hey, I'm just taking what's given to me. I've seen the first video, I've seen all the videos of Dogpack where he came out, talked all this crap about MrBeast, supposedly showed us evidence, and then all of a sudden, Soggy Cereal comes out like less than a week ago, bringing up saying that every single thing that Dogpack has talked about, well, majority, like 95% of the things that Dogpack talked about in his videos was a complete lie, showed hardcore evidence of it, and now MrBeast has come out and denying everything, or majority of things at least at this point in time, and saying that he's going to be suing Dogpack. So you can take that with whatever you want to. Me, when it comes to my opinions on this, I am going to like sit in the middle. I'm going to, you know what? We don't really know. We don't truly know, because yes, we've now gotten like Soggy Cereal disproving everything and saying that, basically saying that every single thing, well, majority of things that Dogpack brought up is disinformation and is not real, and is just stretching the truth to a point where it's making MrBeast look like this like satanized person. And yes, I was definitely one of those people where I hopped on and I was just like, damn, this is not looking good for MrBeast. This is extremely bad, because at face value, that's what I was given. I was given that everything that was against MrBeast was completely terrible. But now that I'm given more evidence, I'm going to flip a little bit and I'm going to say, hey, you know what? This is definitely favoring MrBeast to not look like they're saying that this is all disinformation. But at the same time, we truly don't know. In the public's eye, like, really, do we know? No. And you know what? I think it's best as well to stay more middle ground when it comes to all this stuff until this lawsuit is finalized. Because to me, whoever comes out on top in this lawsuit will determine who's been in the right and who's been in the wrong this whole entire time. And if you don't want to believe it after the lawsuit's done, or you still want to like be on Dogpack's side completely, or you're now flipping over to MrBeast's side, or you've been on MrBeast's side that whole entire time, that's completely fine. Whichever side you're on, whichever opinion you have, that's fine. Me, I'm going to stay in the middle. But I definitely think that this lawsuit will determine who is in the right and who is in the wrong of what is disinformation. What misinformation are we being fed? And I hate it. I even said it in my video a couple days ago as well, is I hate the fact that it has gotten to this far. Not in terms of like this, as in like, you know, the lies being spoke about MrBeast. And I'm not here to like meat ride MrBeast of like, oh, I can't believe that the lies were being told. I can't believe that there were lies this entire time. I don't care who it is. But like the fact that lies were spread about someone in the first place, to me is just ridiculous. Because whenever someone makes a video like Dogpack, it shouldn't be filled with lies. If you were going to come out and expose someone, it should be because it's true. And we shouldn't have to like, yes, it's always good to second guess things. It's always, you should always second guess things. There's nothing wrong with that, but we shouldn't have to. And as people like Dogpack, where now it's coming out that all this stuff is disinformation, that now we are going to second guess every single thing that is said against us, which is why I'm definitely taking a backseat to this, and I'm going to wait to see what comes out of this lawsuit. I am very interested to see how this goes and see what the damages that MrBeast, because the way it's sounding is that MrBeast is going to come out on top of this. but I'm very intrigued to see how it all goes, and I would definitely like to hear what you guys think about all this down below. Make sure you go watch Oompaville's video. Like I said, it's a very long video, but if you want more context, if you want to hear MrBeast's side of the story of pretty much every single thing that he has been called out for in the last like few months, I recommend going and watching it. That's going to be it from me. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Peace out.